Hey guys, so today's video is a quick one but always a fun one to film and share, which is just my reading plans for the next month, October. I have so many books I really want to get to, and the fact that the end of the year is really fast approaching, I'm just like, I need to speed things up. I just have not had the time to read this year, unfortunately, so there's definitely just so many books I really want to get to. So we definitely want to try and include some like spooky books for the spooky season, but I have a lot of other books that I just haven't gotten to that I really need to get to because they are just books I'm really looking forward to. So first of all, I really want to finally get around to reading The Haunting of Tramcar 015 and A Master of Gin by both of these by P. Deli Clark. Now the Tramcar one I know is a novella, and it's sort of also a prequel to A Master of Gin, which is a full-length novel that came out earlier this year. I don't really know much about these, but I reckon they might kind of go with the spooky season actually, especially The Haunting of Tramcar. Like, The Haunting, hello. Didn't really plan this, I just wanted to read it because it's an anticipated release, but now that I'm thinking about it, timing is perfect. So yeah, I'm planning to pick these up. I have been planning to pick these up for ages, but I'm going to be also buddy reading these with my friend Sophia, so I'm really excited to see what we both think of these. I feel like we have also similar taste in reading, like we love the same fantasy books and stuff, so I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. I have read the other prequel novella, which is A Dead Gin in Cairo, and I loved it because it had like a desert setting, it had like supernatural creatures, so there was like gin, but there was also like angels, and there was definitely like a murder mystery, some sort of underlying plot of evil happening that I think is going to continue in these books. We shall see, and I'm just so excited to read them. So excited. I also want to finally get around to continuing my Robin Hobb books, because if you followed me at the end of the year, I had no problem picking up Robin Hobb, but since I read Fool's Fate, which I was severely disappointed by, I have not picked up another book of hers, so I want to continue on. I'm up to the Dragon series. I don't even know what the first book in the series is called, to be honest. I'll put it on the screen. I haven't brought it yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to physically read it or just listen to the audiobook. That is a decision I need to make soon, but all I know about this one is we are following the Rainwild children, which is a setting and a bunch of characters we are introduced to in the Live Shaded series. We kind of meet them, so I'm so interested and fascinated to learn more about these characters, because I kind of know what this is about, but I don't really want to say too much because you learn little bits and pieces about them in especially Ship of Destiny, and to say so would be a spoiler here, but they are really interesting. They are very deeply connected to the magic of Robin Hobb's world, so I think we're going to learn a lot more about the magic in this series, and the magic is definitely one of my favorite elements of Robin Hobb's books. So yeah, it's about time I picked this up. Apparently this is like, by popular opinion, one of her least favorite series. Like, apparently a lot of people don't like it. Katie said that to me. I did not know that until Katie told me, so I'm kind of interested to find out where I'm gonna fall, but also to find out why. So yeah, it's gonna be an experience as it is with all Robin Hobb books. So I have some spooky books on my bookshelves that I really want to get to, the first of which is My Best Friend's Exorcism. I have a feeling I put this on my TBR maybe last year. No, it wasn't last year. I feel like I've put this on a TBR before and I haven't gotten around to it, so I've been meaning to get to this one a really long time. This I feel like is one of the most popular horror books recommended. All I know is we follow a girl and her best friend gets possessed by a ghost, and it's about her trying to save her best friend, and I think it's also set in the 80s. That's it. I've heard incredible things about Grady Hendrix as well, so I definitely want to give this book of his a go first, and then hopefully continue on to whatever else he has. I'm very interested in his Final Girls book, which just came out. I think it's like the Final Girls support group or something. I'm also gonna actually just chuck this on the TBR. I've had this idea, I realize there's so many like Final Girls books, like there's the Riley Sager Final Girls, and then there's also another one, The Last Final Girls, I've seen floating around. I would love to do like a 24-hour readathon, just like reading like all the Final Girl books, so definitely going to include them on this TBR. All I know about the Final Girl support group is, you know, there's all these different Final Girls from different situations, but then they start going missing one by one, and I think they have to solve what's actually happening before they're all gone, sort of thing. And the last Final Girl, I honestly have no idea what that's about, and I kind of like to want to go into it that way, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, next I have Wilder Girls. This was super popular a few years ago when it came out, and I never got around to it. I think I did start this at one point and I wasn't really in the mood, so I'm really hoping that if I start it in October that I'm in the mood for it and I enjoy it. I've heard that the writing is incredible. I know that we follow these girls who live on an island. I have a feeling that these girls are on the island because they're quarantining for some sort of reason. I feel like I've heard people talk about sort of the timing of this book and how, you know, we've all now lived through a pandemic, have been living through a pandemic and experienced quarantine. Like, we all kind of know what these girls are experiencing, and to also just sort of be mindful when you pick this up because of that, because you might not, you know, you might want to like not be experiencing quarantine in real life and in a fictional world. But I really want to read this. I know it's like called body horror, this book is often described as, and these girls start like mutating and getting plants and I don't know, interesting bits and bobs that aren't naturally or normally on the human body. That starts happening to them, and that's kind of all I know. What I really hope with this book is not really an epic plot or anything, but I feel like it's going to be a very interesting story with a lot of interesting concepts, but at the center a really great group of female characters who all become friends and have a great relationship with one another. That's what I'm really hoping. Like, I'm hoping this is going to be a really character driven story, but I'm kind of nervous that it's not going to be what I want it to be. But I don't know, it could be something better, so I've just got to read it and find out, really. I also own Soulkill Girls, and this one is like so similar to Wilder Girls. It was also like a similar time when these books came out, and I always got quite confused about which was which. But this one is a girl running away, I think, for trying to save her life. Yeah, so it's a group of girls and they're on an island. See what I mean? They're so similar. I used to get so confused. I mean, I'm still confused, to be honest with you. Okay, so there's like a monster on the island and the girls have been disappearing for decades, and that's kind of all the synopsis really says. So maybe I'm hoping for the same thing for both of these books. I don't know. I'm going to be very interested to see the differences of them, because especially with the way I've heard them described by other people, it just kind of blurs into one, to be honest. Okay, I also grabbed this off my bookshelf, which is Into the Woods. I have owned this book for so long. I actually forgot I owned it and rediscovered it when I moved recently. I picked this up from a charity shop because I heard good things about it a really long time ago. I haven't really heard anyone talk about it recently. I just know that it's set in Dublin and it's a whole series of books, and I believe they're all psychological thrillers. So this is the first one in the series, which is In the Woods. So I'm just looking at the back because it's been a while since I've like read the synopsis. So it says on the back that 3 young boys go out to play in the woods, and when they don't return home and their family call the police and the police go out looking for them, only one of the boys is found, and he is gripping a tree trunk in terror, wearing blood-filled sneakers and unable to recall a single detail of the previous hours. 20 years later, Detective Rob Ryan, the found boy, who has kept his past a secret, and his partner Cassie Maddock investigate the murder of a 12-year-old girl in the same wood. Now, with only snippets of long buried memories to guide him, Ryan has the chance to uncover both mystery of the case before him and that of his shadowy past. Oh, okay, I'm really excited. I've really been enjoying detective stories recently, so I have high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be good. Okay, I've got a couple of audiobooks as well that I really want to get to. The first of which I have been slowly listening to on Scribd, and that is Under the Midnight Sun. This book is a Keigo Higashino book whose books I have been loving, but this one I'm not really sure what I'm thinking or feeling about this one quite yet. I am 25% of the way through, but this book is really long. I think the audiobook all up was like 18 hours. I still have 14 hours left currently, but so I don't know if it's just going to take me like a while to get into, but it's also very dark and very bleak and disturbing that I've had to like pace myself with the story quite a bit. It's basically follows two kids. Well, we start off the book and they're kids, and this book is going to span over like decades, and one of them, that his father was found murdered in really mysterious circumstances where it looked like he had also been stolen from and all that. And then the other child, the girl, she is the daughter of the mother who was like the suspect of this murder, but she also died before anything could kind of, or any conclusive sort of end to the case could kind of happen. So we're following these two as they're kind of growing up and the impact that the case had on both of them and what happened to their families. And that's kind of all that's happened at the stage right now where they're teenagers. So I'm hoping that things really do pick up. I think it's going to be a lot more of a character theme story, that's what it seems like so far, than a plot one. I'm also really wanting to pick up Crossfire by Fonda Lee. This is the sequel to EXO. It's only a duology, so I just really want to read this because then I've finished off the series. Well, the duology is not really a series. The first book, it's like a sci-fi futuristic book with aliens, and I'm just kind of really interested to see what the second book is going to contain, because I don't really know what direction is going to go. Okay, I also have a non-fiction book I really want to get to that I just got the other day. It's called It Didn't Start With You. All I know about this book is it's a book that kind of talks about trauma and how trauma can be inherited and passed through the family. I just think it's just something I don't really know too much about, the discussion on like trauma and passing along of trauma, and it's just something I really want to learn more about. And I've seen this book recommended just on like, I don't know, general recommendation sites and stuff, so definitely want to give that one a pick up and read. And the last book I'm going to include in this video for my TBR is a book I do own physically, and I'm hoping to find my physical copy. I'm still sorting out my books from my move but hopefully I can find this copy before the end of October and read it, and that is The 13th Tale by, I feel like her name's Diana Stapleton. That could be wrong, but it's something along those lines. Again, this is a book I bought years ago in a charity shop, and it's a book I've always been very interested in. I know there's like twins and a really old mystery, and this is also literary fiction, so the combination of like literary fiction and a like murder mystery sort of story really is what has me hooked. Plus it's supposed to be like kind of spooky, I think. Again, this is a book I don't want to go into knowing a whole lot, but I've just heard little about this, but what I have heard has been really good. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I am so excited. Let me know what you're reading this October, and I really hope that you're enjoying whatever you're currently reading, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!